All right, thank you, Trevor. Glad to see that some of you are still here, or most of you are still here. Thank you. I was glad that Trevor went right after the governor's speech because you guys might recall one time I spoke right after a governor gave his speech, and I forgot half of my speech in my chair, and I had to go down there and get the rest of it during the speech. So some of you guys remember that probably. But again, welcome to our 80th annual meeting here. And 80 years of building trust. I would like to take this time to welcome our board members, managers, special guests to the 2022 SDREA annual meeting. Thank you for your continued support and active involvement in your statewide organization. On behalf of the entire board and the statewide organization, I want to thank you for your service and to your commitment not only to your local cooperative, but for contributing to the ongoing strength, vitality of your statewide electric cooperative system. 2021 was marked by a change in leadership in your statewide association. Last July, we honored Ed Anderson for his many years of service to our electric cooperative network and wished him well in his retirement. In planning ahead for Ed's eventual departure and the transition phase to follow, a task force was formed to review the full slate of services provided by your association. An executive search committee was also formed to work with NRECA to identify the organization's next general manager. Trevor Jones came to SDREA last summer with a wealth of experience working with various agencies, departments, and individuals within our state government. He has a tremendous grasp of the policies and procedures of our state's governing body, and I am confident he will do a fine job of telling our story and representing the interests of all our members in his work at the State House. We also increased our legislative bench strength by adding Greg Dean to our staff as a government affairs advisor. Greg has worked with telecommunication cooperatives in his career, and he understands our business model and our role as advocates for the interest of our members. 2021 was also highlighted by a historic event that occurred last February when Winter Storm Uri swept across the country. The polar vortex brought bracing winds, snowfall, ice, and sub-freezing temperatures not only throughout the upper Midwest, but to areas unaccustomed to experiencing these austere conditions. The storm presented many challenges for our cooperative system, but as it happens with most challenges we encounter as co-ops, it also provided an abundance of opportunities. Most importantly, I believe it presented an opportunity for us to reaffirm and build upon the trust of our members that we have worked hard to solidify over the decades. As the temperatures fell last February, it became apparent to our system operators that demand would soon outpace supply. We were warned that the grid was in danger of melting down and experiencing unprecedented destruction. Demand soared as consumers across the region switched on their space heaters and heating blankets and turned up their thermostats in an effort to stave off the cold. But when it became apparent that the consumption had to be curtailed to avoid calamity, we reached out to our members. We explained the need for reducing their use of electricity, and they listened. The response to our message allowed us to avoid a situation that could have brought widespread devastation to our grid and prolonged blackouts for perhaps millions of ratepayers. Instead, what transpired would be later described by system operators as the largest controlled load shed event in the history of our country, and a disaster was averted. To be clear, our co-op members responded affirmatively to our request to curb demand simply because they trusted us. They trusted us to tell them the truth. In the age of media sensationalism, spin, fake news, and breathless hyperbole, our members trusted in us in that moment of potential peril because of the hard work that had been done to earn that trust over the past 8 decades. I feel we owe a debt of gratitude to those who have gone before us to build that trust, just as we bear responsibility to make sure that that bond of trust is sustained far into the future. Our members trust us because we keep them informed. The polar vortex event provided an opportunity to educate and inform our members about the way regional transmissional organizations move power across the grid and work diligently to ensure reliability. Through our social media channels, video platforms, websites, and Cooperative Connection magazines, we described how power marketing administrations function and explained the potential of renewable power. We detailed the limitations of total reliance on resources like wind and solar to meet baseload demand. Our members trust us to deliver power that is affordable. On average, our rates are in line with the marketplace and similar to what other cooperative consumers pay throughout our region. Everyone here knows low rates don't just happen. We know it takes hard work, and it's something our members expect. Our members trust us to deliver power that is reliable. The U.S. Energy Information Administration recently reported that in 2020, South Dakota ranked number 3 in the nation in reliability, with an average outage period of 1.6 hours for the year. That's just behind Arizona with 1.2 hours of outage time, and far ahead of Louisiana, where the average ratepayer went 60 hours without power. Our co-op consumers depend on us to keep the power flowing day and night, to keep their homes powered up and their businesses operating. Our members trust us to deliver power that is responsible. For years, our cooperatives have delivered clean power generated from hydroelectric facilities that are a part of the Western Area Power Administration. And we've seen Basin Electric reduce its use of coal 20% over the past 20 years. Moreover, officials at Basin have reported that an additional 342 megawatts of renewable power is expected to come online by the end of 2024, including 2 wind farms and 4 solar arrays. Doing what we can to protect the environment is a goal we should all pursue. Our members trust us to support youth education and the development of our future leaders. When the Washington Youth Tour was canceled for 2 years, we responded by creating a statewide youth program from scratch. ConnectCon, a youth leadership experience, was attended by nearly 30 students sponsored by their respective cooperatives. Over the course of 3 days, these teenagers participated in leadership training, toured a hydroelectric power plant in Spearfish, and learned more about electric cooperatives. On an ongoing basis, our co-ops support education through various scholarship programs and spend time inside our schools informing students about how power is generated and how to use it safely and efficiently. Finally, our members trust us to leverage the power of our cooperative principles, which obligates us all to work together to achieve positive results on their behalf. It's our responsibility to harness the strength that comes from our numbers, our shared values, and our common goals. In 1942, a group of 24 farmers from places like Elcester, Lenox, and Millbank convened in Sioux Falls to discuss how collaboration with one another could lead to a higher level of service for their respective members. They had a hunch that taking a unified approach would yield better results than if they applied their own separate paths into the future, and they were right. Frankly, that loose-knit group of farmers didn't know at the time if their deliberations would lead to anything. In fact, they called it a temporary organization. But what became clear over time is that they knew that they could trust one another and rely on each other to look out for the good of the whole group. We have seen that over time those bonds have grown stronger, and we've been able to clear all the hurdles that have been placed before us. As we look ahead to the future, it's certain that unity and solidarity will become even more essential in achieving our common goal of delivering the quality of service that all of our members expect and deserve. Please know that I consider it a profound honor to serve on the SDREA board, and I look forward to working with each of you toward achieving our shared purpose. Thank you.